is a good word for it. Heavy. I'm writing these all on my score. I don't know if you guys are. I chose to be in choir during school because I absolutely love making music, I really enjoy singing, and I love being a part of a group that can do that. And I think other people also really enjoy music and also just love hanging out with other people who want to do that. My name is Helen Wilson, and I am in the UW-Stout Chamber Choir. So choir really fits into my day kind of as my break. I really like to have the end of the day where I can just go, relax, and sing and have all of that fun with other people. I really find it to be a great emotional outlet where I get to really feel the music, whether it's really sad, really happy, or even really angry. And having that all together has been a really great way to kind of balance out my school life. Choir helps me feel more connected to my campus because I get to see so many people I wouldn't have ordinarily met. I tend to stick with more science majors in 1 or 2 different buildings, but because I'm in choir, I get to meet people that are in the art majors, that do business, that do packaging, and a variety of other things that I ordinarily would probably have never run into. Or maybe I would have seen them at a club or a smaller event, but seeing them at choir, I get to see them twice a week, if not more, and get to know them closer and make a ton of friends that way.
In this particular instance, my partner actually convinced me. I was actually never intending to join choir again. I have a long history with choir, and I've been singing for a very long time, but I also joined the military, and then I came back and just kind of wanted to roll through with my life. Just wanted to get it all done out of the way. But when she convinced me to go to the fair, where all these different student organizations are, and choir was up in there, and I thought like an after school choir, but it was an actual class. So my wife basically said, you don't really have an excuse, and that's how I ended up getting in there.
So beyond the classroom setting, I found that choirs really helped me feel comfortable in myself and in my own skin. I think I have been very nervous to be in front of crowds in the past. And through choir, not only have I gained confidence in singing in front of a crowd, but also speaking in front of a crowd, whether that is just a small group in the choir. I'm a section leader, so I have to do some leadership roles and address the group a lot of times. And ordinarily, prior to choir, that would really make me nervous, and I probably would be quiet and not do a very good job at it. But since choir, I've really gained confidence in that role, being able to stand in front of a crowd, speak, even sing, and do that with confidence.
Student stress and emotional well-being as they come into a choir rehearsal often shifts in the first 5 to 10 minutes of a rehearsal. When they walk in, they often have a lot of weight, they often have a lot of distractions, they often have a lot of things that they're carrying or they're pulling with them. After warm-ups and as everyone kind of settles into the rehearsal, students often, I see their body language shift and relax, and they open up and are able to sing freely.
It's very calming. Oftentimes there's so many classes that pull you in so many different directions, but in choir, I get to just blot out all that and get to focus on something else and work a totally different part of my brain. It just allows me to relax here in all the thinking that I'm doing. Not to say I'm not thinking in choir, mind you, but it just works a different part of my muscles and allows this high stress constantly, gotta focus, gotta think about X, Y, and Z, and just you will just sing today. And that is the best feeling in the world.
So I think choir benefits me personally more than other extracurriculars because it's challenging without being too challenging, and it's also not boring either. I think other extracurriculars can get very monotonous, where you're just kind of doing the same thing, or other extracurriculars can be way too challenging. Like sports, I think, are very challenging, and certain clubs are very easy. And so I think choir is a really good balance of finding a way to keep me busy without making me bored, and also challenging me to a small degree, but not adding any amount of stress to my life.
I am absolutely amazed at what students are capable of doing. Whether they're majoring in graphic design or they are working in the field or whatever they're doing, what they're able to bring to a choir is absolutely impressive. it's not something that they're focusing on, it's not something that they're studying, and yet it's something that they're able to achieve at a high level, something that they're able to feel good about their product, their performance, and you can see it. You can see it improve them as humans. Okay, smile. Put the grin there. 1, 2, 3.
What is even more enjoyable, and it happens fairly often, is to really see them change in terms of their understanding of certain things. In our choir programs here at Stout, oftentimes I would create these, I would describe them as experiences where we take a whole semester. Yes, we're singing, but oftentimes the music are organized in a thematic way that we dive into some really interesting subjects that are not necessarily directly related to music. We just go into very different life subjects, and oftentimes those are the opportunity and the moments that I get to see students really change through the semester. Yes, we're only learning the music. Yes, we're just working on performance. But while we're discussing some of the music, some students really have thought through their life experience, how they understand the world, and there will be a difference that you can see.
Choirs that connect with each other sound better, they sing better, they blend better. It forces you to be aware of the humans around you and to fit in with them and to match them and to lead them and to support them. There's really no substitute for it.
Choir singing by definition is connection.
Keep your hands up.
With, you have to do it with more than 2 people, I would say, to sing something that is what can be considered choral music. Singing is communication. It's like speaking. You're getting an idea out to other people. And so choral singing, I think, is just a really beautiful and artistic way to gather a whole bunch of people together, be expressive together, make music together, and you have to make connection at that point. Even if you have not really talked to every single person in the choir, you probably would have ended up making some connection with the people.
Community-based choirs are super important for, a lot of reasons. I personally, outside of the Journeymen chorus, I also direct a group called the Red Wing Community Men's Choir. I also direct a church choir here in town. And when we come together and make music together and sing together, there's something that can't quite be replicated in the way that we build community. There are studies that show that people, when they come together in song, they actually kind of synchronize their breathing together. They're able to discuss topics that are part of the music that might be relevant for their lives, and just really the friendships that you create with people in the community and your connection to the community through music is just absolutely a huge benefit. And really, I hope that all communities have some type of a space for people to be able to come together and make music. My name is Scott Perro, and I am the artistic director of the Journeymen Chorus. The Journeymen Chorus brings people together from many different communities and really the greater area of the Midwest. It strengthens our chorus because we really are made up of some of the finest barbershop singers, and I would even stretch that to say some of the finest tenor and bass singers in the upper Midwest. So we draw a pretty large amount of people from outside of even, we're in Red Wing, Minnesota right now for this interview, but we have people that drove to rehearsal today all the way from Madison, Wisconsin. We had people that drove here all the way from St. Cloud, Minnesota. Alexandria, Minnesota, and so forth, because what we do is so unique, and it really is enticing for people to come a long distance to do this chorus, because we do something at a really high level that, like I said, is unique, and it's a pretty awesome experience.
Impacts of singing with the Journeymen chorus is amazing. I think just generally singing in a community choir is amazing for your brain, like the neurological benefits of learning new music and challenging yourself, committing things to memory, different learning processes that you encounter that work and don't work. Music is a great kind of arena to do that in. I think it's amazing there's amazing physical benefits of singing in a chorus. We're a very physical chorus that tries to use our bodies to also reinforce the message of the lyric and the music. And so I think it makes you a better communicator with people, because you're focusing on like physical cues, and you can see people's nonverbal communication better, and because you're learning to be better at doing that to reinforce the music that you're singing.
I mean, I've been at this a long time, sung in a zillion different choral ensembles, opera choruses, classical barbershop, a cappella, vocal jazz, all sorts of things. I think the biggest thing is it extends so far beyond the music, especially in a chorus like the Journeymen. We come for the music, we stay for the fellowship. I've known a lot of these guys for the best portion of my life. Kind of grew up with some of these guys, have watched some of these guys grow up that are a lot younger than me. And it's the music is amazing, and the fellowship's even better.
It's really challenging. Again, my undergrad's in music. I've sung in choirs all my life, and the level of skill, number one, and the dedication here, but also the way that we learn music in barbershop is different than in traditional choral singing classical music. So it's very different, and it's been a good challenge for me.
This is like my main creative outlet. I don't really get to show that creativity in my day-to-day job. Or a lot of other things I do normally, but this is really where I come back and I can, express myself musically and share that with the other people. And the second part of that answer is the community and the social aspect of it. I mean, this is a great group of guys, very welcoming to each new member, so easy to make friends. So it's also just a great social thing to just catch up with these guys every few weeks.
We don't really have a minimum or maximum age limit. And in fact, the youngest member that was singing with us just last season is actually my son, who's 16 years old, and going all the way through people who are well into their 70s in this chorus. That intergenerational music making and the friendships that are made between generations, I feel like, now that I'm obviously getting older, but when I was younger getting into this barbershop hobby, I would go to rehearsal and feel like I had 50 uncles. 50 of the most awesome uncles I could imagine when I was somebody that was, in my late teenage years when I started singing with a local barbershop chorus. And having that connection, I mean, those friendships are, they can't be understated how important that was to shape me as a young singer and a young man, to be around these other like-minded people at different ages. Really, truly makes me and made me a better person. I mean, we have many moments of supporting each other in times that are hard, and really positively impacting our members through things that happen kind of outside of the risers as well. When we audition members, we not only audition them and listen to them musically, we also have an interview with members, and we've had members, prospective members before that have been a great fit musically, but weren't maybe necessarily the greatest fit on the cultural piece of things for us. And because of that, we have people that are just really, really like-minded and really close to each other. The music that we make, if I'll humble brag, I'll say that I think we sing incredibly well. And it's, ringing chords, that's a barbershop term, but ringing chords is something that is, it's truly probably what attracted us all to singing barbershop in the first place. It was singing one of these great big barbershop chords and hearing that ring and saying, oh my gosh, that is so cool. So the music obviously brings people back, but I think what keeps people here is the camaraderie, truly. So they really do work together.
Let's go!
One of our original members, his name was Steve. Steve was, a kind of a focal member when this chorus was started in the summer of 2022. We actually lost Steve to cancer. This was in 2023. We lost Steve. So he sang with us for the first season, the inaugural season. And many people in this choir were very, very close with him. So one of the really neat things that we did actually in this space, we had a concert. We had a light that shined on his spot on the risers, and we put his pitch pipe on the risers. We also printed these stickers that said "In memory of Steve Case," and did a lot for his family. When he had his celebration of life, the entire chorus showed up to sing at his celebration of life. This chorus truly is about more than just the music that we're making. It's truly about making an impact on people's lives as well.
This is a place where I feel totally free to be myself, and I think everybody else feels the same way. In a professional setting, you have to be a little bit more sophisticated or business style, but here you are totally free to say whatever you want, just be yourself, have fun, and it's way easier to connect with other people, make friends that way. So this is like a few hours where I can just hang out with some guys, make some music, and totally be myself.
There's a lot of camaraderie, but it's that, but also you're creating something together, and I think that we don't have a lot of opportunities to do those kinds of things these days.
That's just what we are, right? If you've seen us perform, you first get the sense of our musical skill, our musical excellence, and then you sort of are wrapped in this fun, this fraternity, this brotherhood. Like, we're having at least as much fun as you are as an audience member.
Members support each other beyond the music in many different ways. If you just take the rehearsal, for example, we actually leave a space in every single rehearsal during our business meetings to say, what do people have going on in their lives right now? How can we offer? We specifically say, how can we offer support for you? And people bring up anything from, hey, I was laid off at work. I'm looking for a new job right now. If I could have any help with that, that would be awesome. People say something like, I just became a new grandfather, or, I lost a loved one, or kind of whatever it is. There's no situation that's too big or too small for us to come together and kind of love on each other and support each other.
We put a lot into. We invest a lot personally into being prepared so that when we come together and sing, we can make music at the highest level, so we're not picking out notes or reinforcing rhythms. That guys are expected to be here, ready to be making music at a super high level, but it's also important to make sure that you have the personal connection, and that's really deep, because I think one begets the other. If you have a really good personal connection with somebody and most of the people in your chorus, I think it makes you a better ensemble, and you can challenge yourself musically to do things that you wouldn't, I think, if some of that community aspect and the relationships weren't as strong. And so I think that's kind of the two-headed monster that makes us so special and unique, is that we expect really high musicianship, but we also expect you to be engaged with all the brothers around you, and not just here, but out in life too.
One of the things that sets us apart is our choir is built around those who have early to mid stages of memory loss or memory changes. So that comprises about a third of our choir, and the rest of us bring other baggage. My name is Kathy Wright, and I'm the founder of the Stand in the Light Memory Choir, and I'm also the ambassador. Well, the brain is an amazing thing. So what happens when we're singing together, and this actually there's scientific evidence of this, we start working together internally. Our heartbeats start beating together. And for those people who are isolated by memory loss, this is a chance for them to feel that connection.
Just the people that we've met over the years have been a real blast. Seeing some of the people that are helpers, go from one person to another to try and help them do the best job they can. Yeah, it's very rewarding.
This choir means so much to me. I started singing at the age of 2. My mother got me into singing, and I sang all the way through high school and been in competition, and I sang to all the people with all the diseases. I don't care if it's memory loss or whatever. I have a big heart, and I love everybody.
Some of the challenges of creating a safe space is finding a place, number one, that's accessible physically. So when you have dementia, and there's many different kinds of dementia, lots of things change physically. Your peripheral vision starts going, you might not hear as well, you might not have as much feeling in your legs or in your hands. So we want someplace that's easy. You'll notice there's no steps anywhere here. So people can come in, flat into here, flat to the restrooms, flat to the social time. And that was really one of the big things that made us choose this church. The other thing that is really important is lighting. You want to have lights because, again, when you get older, I'm not going to say this happens to me, but when you get older, you just need more light sometimes. Our folders are created so that there are several cues in there. So instead of just having a folder of music and we say, okay, turn 2, you've got a friend. Every song is numbered, and each number corresponds to a color. So when Kate's up here directing, you'll notice she had a flip chart, and number 1 is red. She'll flip it to number 1, and then maybe your brain isn't quite remembering what numbers are, but they still know what red is. So you know red, I can go to the right number. So we try to create things that make it easier for people, and all different kinds of cues like that.
So just allowing singers to be a part of a community. It's not just a rehearsal, but knowing that they're friends and they have those connections. And I think the other thing that we do that creates a safe space is just making sure everybody knows it's not about perfection. It's about sharing and expressing our music, sharing that with our community, and it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to be vulnerable in that way, and it's a safe thing to do.
I guess you could say we're not really music therapy. We are music that's therapeutic. So music therapy has a definite end result and steps that form that. We sort of just take it in a big musical hug, and that's our therapeutic feeling. Well, the social benefits in the lives of our choir members is, again, really you can't measure it. So at the beginning of choir, we have a half hour, 45 minutes of social time. And if you can imagine that you never get to go out and socialize anymore, and suddenly one day a week, you get to be with your friends, and just like everybody else, and you get to have snacks, and you have people talking to you, and you're seeing your friends. That's one of the social benefits. The other social benefit is really being a part of this project that, in the end, will have public concerts. And so we're not only socializing within the choir, we're socializing out there. We're trying to reduce that stigma of having memory loss. Because most people will live with a dementia for many years before we know it, and sometimes before they know it. So there's a lot of living left to do that sometimes gets squished by the stigma.
We had a choir member who had been singing with us who had experienced memory change, and she got to a point where she wasn't able to participate in the choir anymore, but her husband brought her to the concert. She walked into the room and she looked up here and she said, "All my friends are here." And it was just this really beautiful moment of, yeah, that's what this group is. It's a place that people can come and belong, and she remembered that. And even though she might have not been in a place to be able to do it anymore, that was still with her.
Okay, what is one thing I would tell them? Well, there's a million things, but mostly just do it. Come to a rehearsal, see what it's like. Sit in our social time, because really, that's how you feel it.
Reasons why people say that they, won't join a community choir. A lot of time it's, I don't think I have the time for it, or I haven't sang since high school. I don't have a good voice. I don't read music. So many of those things are just not really factors in your ability to participate.
Do it, because especially if you've already done it, there is no reason for you not to do it again. And if you've never done it before, it's such a great gateway into finding not only new friends, but to just find people and put yourself in a place where you are all willing to make mistakes.
Yes. Oh, we're celebrating Valentine's Day. Oh, we're gonna get a little treat. Oh, we have all these wonderful things. And so I would say, try it. You will not regret it.
I mean, this means so much for me to be able to do this.
There's no downside. There's no risk. I think singing is a great outlet. You'll meet so many people, and there's really no reason not to.
It's a great benefit for your brain. It's a great benefit for your heart and your soul. There only good things will come out of it. So definitely, if you're thinking about it, if you're on the fence, definitely find a choir to sing in. They will be so happy to have you, and you'll be happy that you did it.